your worst nightmare. Bye. Okay, so let's see how to get started. I didn't plan this. Maybe I should have planned it. Be here for another 20 minutes then. Fuck you, no. It's probably not gonna take me that long. Before I became a lolly VTuber, I did not really have much of a following at all. I started off more as a general content creator, and I was still a VTuber, but like, you know, more like just, I tried to be safe for work. I wasn't a lolly. I didn't really know that much about lollies, even though I'd been into anime. I guess I just haven't been into anime enough that I really was aware of lollies, but like, it wasn't something that I did. And for a long time, I struggled to grow. It was like, I think last September to August, September, I was stuck at around 700 followers on Twitter, and even less on my other platforms. I mean, I still am less on my other platforms because Twitter growth is just a lot easier to do than other platforms for some reason, unless you get lucky, I guess. First rule recommendation, go lolly. Not necessarily go lolly, but that does tie into my first point. I would say one of the most important things to do when you decide to become a content creator is to pick a niche. Not just as a VTuber, but just like in general. For most people back then, just being a VTuber at all would get you a ton of attention. But now, VTubing has since blown up a ton. It has become an incredibly oversaturated market, to the point that we even have companies trying to make VTubers. Y'all remember when Tony the Tiger became a VTuber? That didn't last very long, but he became one for a little bit. It's no longer a niche. I also see a lot of people on Twitter sometimes, like, I guess it's not really a lot of people, but I've seen a good number of people, like, it's not a couple, I've seen this a handful of times, where people will be like, if you're gonna be a VTuber, it should be because you love it, and you think it's fun, and blah, 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 blah. I think what they're saying has some truth to it. I don't think people should become VTubers, or become any kind of content creator just for profit, and just for numbers. Like, wow, oh my god, you farted and it made a subscription appear. Oh my god. Yeah, almost like it's a job. You're right. Yeah, it is a job. I mean, if you're gonna put this much effort into it, why wouldn't you, like, want to make a profit off of it, you know? I want this to be my full-time job because I enjoy it. You're telling me that I can take the enjoyment, but I can't, like, make some money off of it? Like, I've been at this, like I said, for like 3 years. There was a lot of work going into it. Yeah, I was talking about a niche. Rune's Alzheimer's is kicking in. Shut up, I'm trying to stay focused. It's hard to manually keep myself in this mindset. I'm having a hard time getting my advice out. Now I forgot what I was saying, you distracted me. If you just come out and all you say is just like, I'm a VTuber, you should follow me, that doesn't say anything about, like, what you do. And like, people are gonna come across your post and they're gonna be like, okay, you're a VTuber, so what? So are like 20 million other people now. That's why having a niche is important. And honestly, the more obscure the niche, like, the more obscure you can make your niche, the better. Okay, let's say you're a gaming VTuber. Well, a viewer could come across your account, and they look at your content, and they're like, okay, you know, this person's hype, but I only have so much time in my day. And I could turn around and watch one of my favorite VTubers who does the exact same thing, and then you lose them. And that is one reason why going lolly ended up being a good decision for me. It's like, I'm not the first lolly VTuber. There were other ones around when I decided, hey, this might be the route for me to go. There were a lot of bigger lolly VTubers. You know, Guro had already been out for a while. She was already the biggest VTuber in the world by the time I started to even consider if going lolly was something for me. So I'm definitely not the first by any means, but how many lolly VTubers are there who are very open about it? I can say I never really came across them until I decided to get involved with that niche and get involved with that community. And yeah, we've gotten a lot more since that happened. If the niche you choose is more controversial, if you're gonna get into something like that, like I did, you've gotta have a thick skin. I'd say that's the next good tip. Even if you decide, I just wanna do something that's like super popular because, oh, this is just what I like and this is what you decide you wanna do, right? You gotta have a thick skin because you're gonna get haters. It doesn't matter what you do, they're gonna find you. They're gonna have opinions and they're gonna tell you those opinions, whether you wanna hear them or not. Because some people are just really miserable and want to hate on things. Some people actively enjoy hating on things. Like, it's just gonna happen. You wanna be able to like, just let it roll off your shoulders, okay? Like, don't let it stop you. Character design tips. I would say general points to keep in mind for any character design. Make sure your design is clean. You want your design to stand out, but you don't want too much going on either at the same time. As I've seen some designs before where they have so many accessories or so many colors on their color scheme. Their design just looks busy. And I would say that's another thing to keep in mind is consider what the focal point of your model is. First, I want to ask everybody, what do you think the focal point of this model is? If you had to guess. Okay, I see people say the bird, the horns, honey. Okay, and if people guessing that, you would be right. I would say the focal point on a model is the biggest, most identifying trait on a design. And for Laplace, she's got big ass horns, bigger horns than any VTuber I've ever seen personally. And she's got the bird that sits on her head. So it's good to make sure like you've got some kind of focal point. When you're looking at her model, and my eyes are just instantly drawn to the horns. And then, you know, like I'll let my eyes wander up and down the design. You look at her dress, you look at her shoes, okay. But then my eyes are inevitably drawn back up to her head where the bird and horns are because that's the focal point. It attracts the most attention. Your eyes just naturally want to look there because it's such a big, like, asset, I guess, on the design. And something else to keep in mind, try not to have clashing colors. I know, some people might even try to say, like, well, Rune, your model has some clashing colors. As I know, my color scheme got attacked a lot when the haters were attacking me. So, I don't know about that. I like to think my design uses complementary colors, thank you. I would say another thing to keep in mind is your character's silhouette. If you were to take Laplace's design here and make it so it's just a black silhouette, you'd probably still be able to tell that it's her. She's got like the really big horns and the bird. And then honestly, she's got this like spiky tail over here as well. She's got a ton of features that set her apart from other Hololive models and other VTuber models in general. So even if you blacked out her design, you would still be able to tell it's her by those identifying traits. The best designs can be identified even if they're blacked out. Rune's new model silhouette will be shaped like a dick. Dick model, let's go! How did you get the design you have for your rat lolly you have now? Would love to hear about that. This was back in like 2012, 2013, way before VTubers came out. I had made my own personal half-dragon character that I kind of just used as a persona, you know, just to represent me in my head. And I love that character to death. She had a sort of similar outfit. Khaki pants, green shirt. The green shirt is taken directly from her design. When I made Rune, it wasn't as a VTuber character originally. Originally, I used to be super interested in becoming an author. I am a published author of some short stories, although I ended up abandoning becoming like a big author because I realized I like making content through streaming and video a lot more. It was more my calling over being an author. But back then, that was what I wanted to do. And at one point, I had the thought, like, what if I had, like, a mascot to be for, you know, just a mascot for my author pages? People would come see, Pirate Kane's works, because that was my pen name, Pirate Kane. They come see Pirate Kane's works, and they'd have this cute little character they could put, like, maybe in the back of the book, and on the website, and I loved that idea. So it's like, okay, yeah, let me sit down. I'll try to create a mascot. Okay. I don't know why I made Rune on tacos, but this is the only picture I could find of the original model. Yeah, that's what I originally was. Dragon VTuber. I was a dragon with this one, but there's no dragon traits on this model. The only dragon trait that I kind of had on this model, on this design, I don't think the tail was included. The jacket originally had a tail. It had a dragon tail. I don't think the artist got that detail. And then the jacket originally had 2 holes in the back. So my character's hair was supposed to go under the jacket and then come out through those holes like dragon wings. It was the most unique little trait that my model had that other characters didn't. But one, the hair is clearly not inside the jacket in this design. It's clearly going behind the jacket. And 2, that doesn't even work for like a 2D model because you can't see the character's back. I should have just like prioritized being a 3D VTuber then, but I didn't realize at the time how useless that character detail was on a 2D model. You can't even see her back. Learn from my mistakes. And then I guess here is also an example of like a model where if you were to make a silhouette of this character, would you be able to pick her out in a crowd of silhouettes? Would you be able to pick this out and say, this is Rune? I think back when VTubers got started, maybe you could. But honestly, I think now, if you were to, you wouldn't be able to. Although I would also say my character also was not designed with being a VTuber in mind. You know, the design existed before I decided to be a VTuber. So you have that advantage. Just now you see what kind of designs people use and you can plan for your character accordingly with that in mind, and you'll do a lot better than I did. There are even some videos that talk about VTuber designs specifically. And I would say that's another big tip for people to keep in mind if you want to grow as a content creator is to research. Research as much as you can. Research like how to grow on Twitter, how to grow on YouTube, how to grow on Twitch. Research like marketing, networking, how to make a post go viral, just anything. Any combination of words that you can think of, plug it into YouTube, plug it into Google, plug it into Bing, whatever you're using, and just like read, watch, and find as much as you can. And I think that's where a lot of VTubers go wrong, is that they don't bother to learn those things. I've seen a lot of people, like, they just kind of post whatever and then they wonder like why they aren't growing or anything. If you really want to grow, you can't just post whatever you want. Like people say, oh, you can post whatever you want, it's your profile. And you kind of can, but if you want to grow on Twitter, I'm going to focus mostly on Twitter when I say this. You technically don't want to post just whatever the fuck you want. There's a certain way that you should post and certain things that you should post in order to help you grow. You basically want to focus on posting things of value. A valuable post is any post that offers value to the viewers. Sounds obvious, but it always feels like it clicks better in my head when I word it like that. So something that would offer value to someone. That could be something that's entertaining. Maybe you posted something really funny, you know, that's why memes are so popular. It could be something, it could be informing, you know, educational. Maybe you're talking about something that happened recently, you know, like all those VTuber news accounts, you know. Or maybe you're asking a question. Asking questions is another great thing that I don't think people take advantage of enough. If you sit down, you make a post on Twitter, you're asking a question, people will want to engage, you know? Every social media site has an algorithm. Every streaming site. It's all different depending on the site, but Twitter's algorithm is all about engagement. So it's not just about getting people to see your post, it's about getting people to interact with your post. So the more likes you get, the more retweets, the more comments, that's what's good. And that's why getting canceled on Twitter isn't necessarily always a bad thing. I would say the only way getting canceled on Twitter is actually bad is if you actually did something like a crime, you know? I would say in that case, it's not a good thing. But like, let's take my recent example. I made a video on Twitter not that long ago. I'm sure everyone knows what video I'm talking about because it fucking blew up. one where I defended lolly VTubers' right to be in the community. And that, like I said, that post blew the fuck up. It got a ton of praise, but it also got a ton of hate. And I had a ton of antis swarming me. Not even just on that post, like they lingered around for a while. I think finally now they're starting to leave me alone. I can make a post and there's not necessarily quote retweets calling me an asshole and a pedophile and whatever random insults that they could come up with. But even though it was a lot of harassment and a lot of mean words, and it was sometimes hard for me to see and hear, ultimately it was a good thing, because even though it wasn't all positive attention, it was all engagement. It was a ton of comments, retweets, quote retweets, likes, and because of that, Twitter just kept pushing the post further. I got people asking like, Twitter, why the fuck is this in my feed? Why is this in my For You tab? You wanna know why? Because people kept interacting with it, that's why. And it even left the target audience. It left lolly VTubers, then it left VTubers as a whole. It might have even left the anime community, sort of, you know, that sphere. I think it reached some normies for sure. And I grew from being like 3K followers on Twitter to like 7K. I remember at one point, I was reading the comments on someone's post. I can't even remember what the post is about now. But someone had said in the comments like, oh yeah, I've been struggling to grow. Maybe being a VTuber isn't for me, haha. So out of curiosity, I was like, okay, yeah, let me take a look at your profile. I tap on his profile and I start scrolling. This guy posted absolutely nothing of value. In fact, most of his profile was just going live tweets. At one point, there was 7 going live tweets back to back with literally nothing to interrupt them. Just a wall of going live tweets. And I was like, yeah, I know why you're struggling to grow now. You're not very interesting. Or at least if you are interesting, you're not showing it on your Twitter. And then here's the other thing too, is if you post a going live tweet and all it has in it is a link to like Twitch and stuff, the Twitter algorithm actually is programmed to not push those posts very much. Because if you're including a link that goes to like YouTube, Twitch, some other site that's not Twitter, well, Twitter's #1 interest is keeping people engaged and keeping people on the platform. So when you post a link that takes people to another site, you're taking eyes away from Twitter. Twitter's not gonna post that very much. They're not gonna push it very much. So like, if you're gonna post a going live tweet, put visual media in there. That's another great thing to make sure your tweets have value is visual media. You know, think about when you're scrolling through Twitter. If you see like this big, bright, flashy image, you're gonna stop and look at that for a while, right? You're gonna stop and look at it for a sec, at least to see what it is. If not more, because you actually like it. But like, even if it's not something that you like, you're at least gonna stop and just take a look at it for a second to see what it is, right? Well, Twitter sees that. Twitter can see what post you're looking at, you know? And because of that, visual media gets pushed a lot too. I don't know if the algorithm will still suppress it because it has a link to another site, but I think it'll still be pushed more if it has visual media than if it just didn't at all, and it was just a link. When I say post a video, I mean posting the video on Twitter. One thing that I've taken advantage of to grow a ton is timing. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but a lot of my followers have come from just a well-timed pro lolly post. Whenever I see like people shitting on lolly creators, which is pretty much all the time, but like when I see it happening like a ton, that's when I'm like, yep, now it's time to make a post. And don't try to milk it. That'd be another tip, is if you do get something of yours to go viral, don't try to milk it when it dies down. You know, you can't surf a wave if it's already died. You're just gonna have to look for the next one. And that applies to content creation too. I don't use Twitter much or so much social media. I was introduced to the rap by a raid. Have you found raids to be helpful in growing? Raids are definitely very helpful in growing, but I'd kind of say it depends on who's raiding you. Not just in terms of like, some people will have bigger raid parties, but it depends on like who is in the raid and what you're doing. But I would say rather than relying on raids, you should really focus on having a presence outside of Twitch, because Twitch's algorithm is viewer based. The more viewers you have, the more you're pushed up in whatever category you're streaming in. Let's say you're playing like Ocarina of Time. So when someone clicks on that category, you know, they're like, I want to go watch someone play Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I feel like doing that. They'll click on that category, and if you have a lot of viewers, your stream might be one of the first ones they see, and then they come click on it. Versus if you only had like one viewer, you're gonna be at the very bottom of that list. I remember when someone told me it's easier to get discovered on Twitch, and I never understood how. Who told you that? Because that's a straight up lie. Twitch has the worst algorithm for discoverability of any platform I'm on. No, you do not want to try to only be a Twitch streamer. Make as many platforms as you can reasonably manage on your own, and just try to build up your content like on YouTube and Twitter. And then when you have your content on YouTube and Twitter taking off a bit more, you can be like, hey, you know, come follow me on like Twitch. I stream on Twitch too. And then some of those people will come check you out. Hi, Alice. Are you having a thing? Kind of. I was just kind of giving out content advice. Although, like I said, I'm having a very big brain fart today, so this has not been the best high quality stream. This has not been the best stream I've ever done. Yeah, my coffee got mass reported, and I appealed twice to try to get it fixed. They're refusing.
That's why I sometimes tell people, like, you know, being a lolly VTuber is kind of like hard mode. Especially when you're independent. It can be quite, you know, difficult.
Yeah, I was struggling with that with Silvio not that long ago. We wanted to find a place where I could create NSW lolly content that wouldn't ban me. So we were checking everywhere. It was like, no, you can't use Patreon, can't use Coffee. We finally decided maybe Fanvox, you know, Pixiv, but then it turns out Pixiv's trying to get rid of it, and it's like, you can't go anywhere. Did I tell you, I had one guy come into my DMs and he wanted me to sexually shame him for being a pedophile?
I need a drink, hold on.
Do you ever get like weird DMs like that at all, Alice?
No, I don't. No.
No? Nah, I've gotten that. I've gotten like dick pics. One person wanted to know if I wanted like a cum tribute.
What the fuck? Oh wait, somebody did ask me that on Subscribestar though.
That's on your Subscribestar though, like where you post that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
but yeah. What? Wait, what? I do what?
Well, don't you post like the NSFW stuff on your Subscribestar?
Oh yeah. I thought you were saying if I post contributes.
No, not contribute. Can I get a photo of you? In other words, can we get new wallpapers? I should make VTuber wallpapers. That'd be interesting.
For contributes?
No!
Oh.
Just like phone wallpapers, not for contributes. So all the dick pics you get are like small flaccid micro penises?
Well, they're not micro, they're just... Like, if you were like put your whole hand around it, you probably cover the entire thing.
Oh. Oh no!
If it was a bigger pee-pee, I'd still have an issue with it.
I'm just thinking just now, imagining if some new viewers clicked on this link and they're like, oh, content creation advice. They come in and they just hear us talking about pee-pee.
Like, you have to understand, PP is a very important part of this tip. If you're gonna be a content creator, avoid PPs at all costs. You may end up getting unsolicited PPs. Now for another tip.
But the NSFW
do not take
content, though.
Just the tip. If you're asking for a tip, please clarify that you meant money and not an actual tip from someone's man junk space.
It's like when Alice walked back in on Mari talking about it. How many times has that happened? I have to know. I wonder what her opinion of foreskin Skittles would be.
What?
I'll have to ask her.
What the heck? Ask her? Why would I ask her? You the one who mentioned
No,
it.
I said I'll have to ask her. I mean, you could ask her too if you want.
But what is
You don't know what foreskin Skittles are? That's what.
No!
When the guys put Skittles under their foreskin, and then when you go to suck them off, you get a surprise. It's a new meaning to taste the rainbow.
Shut up!
I swear you and Mario have like the same brain sometimes, because that is weird.
Foreskin Skittles just happens to be a common topic on my channel. You get used to it. Apparently my chat doesn't like it that much, though. It's come up quite a bit. My chat started beating me up as soon as we mentioned foreskin Skittles.
You did invent peanut butter and piss Skittle sandwich. I did do that, and I'm very proud of that one.
And you came up with piss Skittles.
Yeah.
No, I need to see this ASMR VOD.
So will it be Isaac? You want this peanut butter and honey Skittle sandwich? Do you want to taste the rainbow? We are so good at advice.
We are though. The gremlin shit is the best shit. It's especially for VTubers, it's the shit that gets like clipped the most and shared the most. Like you might as well.
It is. It really is. It really is.
People like hearing anime girls talk about foreskin Skittles and jaundice.
Oh, Oni-chan, can you please show me your foreskin Skittles?
Oni-chan, can I lick up your jaundice, please? It looks so yellow like my favorite lemon candy. Can I please have one lick, please? Stop throwing stuff at me.
Crumb of the dry skin off your pee-pee. How do you even know I have foreskin?
We can tell.
I may have done some searching around.
I mean, who knows? Maybe demons have eyes that can see through clothing.
I would hate that. Being able to see through people's clothes, like, oh my god.
Just see nude people all the time.
So every time I see someone, my brain goes to nude filter or dead filter. So I've seen my best friends die multiple times. Wow.
Your brain either makes you think about them dead or naked every time you see your friend.
It's never both. It's never both.
Dead, naked, best friends. Nothing gets me off quite like that.
Oh my god.
Nothing feels better than the inside of my naked dead friend.
Please no one clip that. Please no one clip that. No one please clip that and take it out of context.
You're baiting someone to clip that.
Please don't. Wink wink.
I'm not opposed. I mean, definitely don't clip that. Wink wink. Hi Silvio. Can confirm I deal with this every day. You know you like it.
Likes that every day. Makes breakfast. I wonder what curse shit I'm going to be involved in.
He's probably gonna be standing there making breakfast, and then I sneak up behind him and dig my fingers into his axe crack just to hear him go, ah!
If you do that to me, I will lock you in the bedroom for an hour. That? An hour? You know how much I can do in an hour? In somebody else's bedroom?
Oh no, she'll
especially after just digging my finger up their butthole?
Is this a threat to stick your finger up my butthole?
Wait, BlazeKong, are you saying you're into that?
Oh, you were reading BlazeKong's message. I was
was reading chat.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, what? What? Huh?
No, I was reading chat.
Oh my god, is Alice propositioning me to lock me in my room and put her finger up my butt?
No. Literally the worst ending in all of Legend of Zelda history that I'm aware of is from Twilight Princess. When the Twilight Princess grew up. when she had a full form. I was like, oh my god, she is so ugly.
What?
I'm sorry. Nah, no, I'm sorry. It's just not attractive. Sorry. It's like this is betrayal. I hate this shit. This is the worst.
Well, when you started talking about like the ending, I was sitting here thinking like, oh, when Minna leaves, yeah, it makes me sad too. Then you're just like, her true form ugly. I was like, what? Ramilia Scarlet? I don't know who any of these characters are.
Ramilia Scarlet is the sister of Flandre Scarlet and Ramilia Scarlet.
Sylvia will call me uncultured when he won't even come see the FNAF movie with me. Who's the real uncultured one here?
Dang. Wow, Silvio. You're gonna just let her go and watch an animatronic movie all by herself? Wow.
I hate watching movies by myself. Like, I like to share the experience with people.
I expected so much better from you, Silvio. Is this how you treat Rune after her porking your butt with her finger all this time?
I give you free anal probes, and this is how you treat me. If they don't put Mr. Hippo in the movie, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Can we get like an entire scene dedicated to Mr. Hippo? This is what happens if you get killed by Mr. Hippo. He will jump scare you, and in this place.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise.
What the absolute...
But, you know, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on, not for you. You're dead. That's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. And I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I bought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was.
Okay, that's the end of the first story, and I'm not going through all the stories because it would literally take like 11 minutes.
You know, it reminds me of a time when I was with my friend. Yeah, her name was Rune Bunnura. She was a nice and quiet, friendly rat. Well, quiet was actually kind of a lie. It was more of a wish of mine, but we can talk about that wish later. But she was actually quite an erratic specimen. She was very fun, and she enjoyed Skittles quite a bit, in very questionable spots. It's best just chatting streamer, I swear. That would be perfect if Mr. Hippo was a director's cut sort of like content. So like imagine like there's like a director's cut version where he's like basically like talking over the entire movie.
Oh my god, I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see him just narrate over the entire movie. Probably because parents don't monitor what their kids do online. They just give them an iPad to roam the internet freely. Sad but true.
It's very true. My baby cousin got a fucking whole iPad and when he was 3. He was 3.
I remember when I was a kid, like my dad was like a control freak and wanted to put parental controls on everything. Here's the weird thing. He didn't want me to watch Soul Eater because the title doesn't sound very nice. A show called Soul Eater just can't be very nice, and he was very adamant that I don't watch it. But then I showed him the opening to Monster Musume with big jiggly titties in it, and he was like, I don't think you should watch this. And then literally never brought it up again. I was like 14.
You shouldn't watch that, but I most certainly will.
Like, this doesn't look very appropriate. Immediately turns the other way. What's wrong with eating souls? My dad's a diehard Christian. That's why. That's why. But big monster girl titties are A-okay, apparently. My parents told me they're having another kid. This is gonna be number 12.
What? I'm sorry,
I'm
how many?
gonna have 11 younger siblings. They're having another one.
Your parents trying to like create a fucking army or some shit?
I'm starting to wonder.
You think your father was inspired by the monster titties? It was just like, yeah. That raised my libido. Every single time I fuck my wife, I'll think about those monster titties.
Has your mom been like perpetually pregnant since you've known her? No, but a lot of the time,
Professionally pregnant?
No, perpetually, not professionally.
Oh.
What would professionally pregnant be? Oh, that would just be a surrogate.
I have no idea. That's why I asked. I was like, wait, what's professional?
Surrogates would be professionally pregnant. That's their job. Competitive pregnancy. My mom would have them all beat.
I'm a stay-at-home professional pregnant. I was just picturing just like 4 or 5 or so pregnant women in the same room with their mate, and they're just kind of like, there's like a coach with a timer.
What are they timing?
Contestant number 2 already has a hat out. She's currently in the lead. Can the others catch up?
The Pregnancy Olympic Games brought to you by Trojan Condom.
My head hurts.
Mine does too. Well, it's been almost 5 hours. I actually was thinking of ending off soon. A friend in high school took a shit on his little brother's face while he was sleeping and told him it was the dog. What the fuck? Why?
No.
Are all high school students this shitty? Literally? No pun intended. He was also a really good guitarist. Oh yeah, like that definitely excuses the shitting on his brother's face.
I'm dead. Don't shit on my face. Suck it up. He's a great guitarist. He played at my grandmother's funeral. I don't give a fuck if he shat on your face. You probably deserve it. Disappointment. Disappointing son of mine.
I can't breathe. This got me.
Oh my god.
Shit's on your face. Bee ba 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 ba. Ew.
We need to add Mari to these conversations. Oh my god, can you imagine?
We always have these cursed conversations when Mari's not here. Well, I have yet to actually hang out with Mari. Yeah, I've heard some of Mari's conversations. Sometimes even I look at the screen, I'm like, what the fuck? Oh god, and her attention span! I was watching her play Ocarina of Time the other night. She has the worst attention span.
You can target those and use Navi. Those has sacred face show up the wind guidance, then we let them go! Lead me to my destined path. That's a great destined path, alright. Go! Let my destiny be foretold. There's a what? Here? Yo. Yo! Huh? I see it. Where? There goes one fairy. I see it in front of the fan? Oh. Oh. Well, that's one fairy down, I suppose. Oh, real keys. I have no key. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was trying to help her in the chat. She would like forget what room she was in. Like 2 minutes after being in there.
Wait, go back into the embalm and elevated corner? Wait, what? Wait, what room?
It was like a room with a secret path that you had to use a fan to get into. And we're like, what other room are we talking about? This is the only one. Like, a secret path? The fan? What are you talking about?
You use your fan to get into. Wait, what fan? Yo! My short-term memory is like 1 megabyte.
Falls in the pit. I can't do the Mario lap.
Okay. In this room? Now bomb the floor. That's raised. I don't know where to bomb, so I found it. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of confusing.
I still think about the time during that one clip, the one Portal 2 clip, where I'm trying to get out of a particular spot, but she kept replacing my portals. And I just tell her, Mari, what are you doing? What are you doing? Mari, stop covering my goddamn holes!
No. What do I do?
And Mari's just, the whole time she's like looking up, but she thinks she's stuck. Because she didn't realize she was looking up. Hold on.
Well, where am I? I'm stuck, I think. Alice, am I having an issue? Alice?
What I'm gonna need you to do.
I can't do anything else.
I thought she read chat, she was like, oh wait, I'm looking up. Oh. What I'm gonna... Look.
I'm Alice.
Stop shooting things! Stop it!
I'm stuck. I'm looking up? Oh. I thought I was stuck in the wall!
You thought you were stuck, okay.
I thought I was stuck! I was just looking at the wrong way.
Everybody, thank you very much for coming to this sub. What was this? What is this?
It was like a half content creator advice stream, half random bullshit.
Alright. Yeah, have a good one. And y'all also have a good one, chat.
You too.
It's been nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Fucking made me look like a football player while I was looking at AOS. Okay, thank you everybody. Have a good night, okay? Bye-bye. Bye.